And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to the races we are. This is Wednesday. As I get my directions in the right place. It's chilly outside, 36 as we wait for a high of 75. It's going to be some kind of nice day. Right now the wind is calm. No wind chill. I love it when it's that way. Tonight will be a little bit different. We're sitting at 36 now tonight, only a low of 50. So change is coming, as Sam Cooke used to sing. 75 today and tomorrow. We got a complete look at your forecast coming up in just a few moments. We'll go over some headlines. We want you to know all about that. Don't forget, I-20 just now opening up as we've had a shutdown throughout the nighttime. To give you a brief understanding of what happened, an 18-wheeler caught fire around mile marker 105 westbound. The 18-wheeler was able to detach from the trailer, but it had toxic material in the back. It caught fire, it burned. Everything had to be shut down at least a half a mile radius of there. So the interstate was shut down at mile marker 100 and mile marker 109 east and westbound lanes. Traffic is just now being opened up on both sides. Now, what does this mean? Something that they've had trouble with, and we'll go back over this again coming up at the top of the hour. People have been in their car from around 12:45 to now. There's a lot of people asleep. So as traffic starts moving, they're having to take fire trucks and go down the edge of the road to try to wake people up instead of knocking on each individual car. You can understand that. You've been there that long, you're going to fall asleep. So if you've got somebody in front of you not moving, get on the horn. Maybe it'll wake them up. Now, it may be kind of hard to wake somebody up with a regular horn over the sound of a diesel engine. If they're in a diesel, they're loud, aren't they, Odie?
Oh, yeah, they'll get you.
Okay, you can't hear yourself think at a gas station. Let's just go ahead and tell the truth. That is part of it. Fire trucks will wake them up along with law enforcement sirens, things of that nature. And they've got those blaring trying to wake everybody up. So if you've got somebody in front of you, if you're in the line watching us this morning, that's what that holdup is. Eastbound opened up first. There's been some delays due to that. Westbound, just a few moments ago, within the last 4 to 5 minutes, has opened up. If y'all will look, we've got pictures posted of the deputy's car that was hit. We'll go into further detail of that coming up at the top of the hour of what happened with the wrecks. At least 2 additional wrecks happened due to this. Always a fear of everyone who directs traffic at night of an accident happening. We'll tell you all of that. Charlotte, how are you today? Herbert Springs is where she's watching from. So glad you're joining us there. Hickory, Pat and Jim Coker, Elmer, Tony, morning. Glad y'all are with me. Now, we've got a lot of ground to cover, of headlines. That's all coming up today. We've got the good, the bad, and I guess you could call it the ugly to tell. We tell it all straight down the middle. That'll be up and coming. Right now, let's go get a good word. Let's go to the church in Collinsville. Brother Ben's got something he wants to share with us.
If there's one thing that I loved as a boy, it was professional wrestling. I grew up in the days of Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, just to name a few. Man, I would get so stoked for WrestleMania or other events. Now, of course, it was all scripted, but I didn't know it at the time. I mean, I was totally into it from the opening bell to the closing count as these men wrestled one another to victory. Did you know that you and I are in a wrestling match every single day? Now, not like the WWF, WWE, or the WCW with physical opponents. No, we're in a spiritual wrestling match. The Holy Spirit tells us in Ephesians 6, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." So that means that you and I have real, massive, and tough opponents. We can't see them, but they are wrestling with us, and so we wrestle back. We're in a battle with these dark forces. It's what might be called spiritual warfare. And since these are spiritual forces, then conventional defense and weapons don't work. As Pastor Paul said yesterday, we have to put on the whole armor of God. Only then will we be able to stand firm and be victorious in this wrestling match. Otherwise, the devil and his army, like Hulkamania, will run wild on you. You better put on the whole armor of God. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always good to hear from Brother Ben. I hope you got something out of that. Now, they're going to be open tonight because it's Wednesday. Church service is open. So hope you can go enjoy yourself tonight. Pick up a little bit. Now, as we start looking at our headlines across America, this bothers me. I think it's not fair in any shape, form, or way. In America, you have two choices when you graduate high school. One is to go to college. The other is to go to work. College is not for everybody. But is it the responsibility of the guy that goes, well, I got to go to work to pay for that other person's education now? That is what's going on in America as of right now. Biden will release somewhere around $3.9 million today to help pay for another 153,000 people that chose college that can't pay for it. That's taxpayer money. Whether you went to college or not, you're going to have to, and some of you went to college and paid for your own. This is an ongoing cycle that comes out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue of, well, the give it to me, I deserve it crowd. It's not right for others to pay what you chose to do. Not in my opinion. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Who's going to pay for the guy that went to work, his tools? Takes food out of folks' mouths. And we're in debt, in debt, in debt. That's my 2 cents on that. You may not agree with that in any way. Today, I mentioned this, was it yesterday or the day before, about the Eagles, Hotel California. Today, the trial will begin about the lyrics, the handwritten lyrics that are on a notebook pad when it all came to life. On a dark desert highway, it's written on there. They're up for sale, and a group is getting sued that say they own it. Somebody else is saying you bought it from somebody that didn't have you the right to sell it to you. We'll see what becomes of it. The trial begins today. It's going to be a big one. We'll see what happens with that. Trump tells us, and I have to agree with Trump on this, Mitch McConnell, we've seen that stare, at least twice, maybe 4 times, to where he stood in cameras and he was lost. He didn't know where he was for a brief moment, 5, 6, 7, 10 seconds. Maybe longer, up to 30 seconds in some of those instances. If he can't do that, it's probably time to take retirement. What decisions are going on behind the scenes, we don't know about. Mitch McConnell is who I'm talking about. Trump says he's not sure he could work with him. He didn't work with you last time. He's not the man for the job. It's time to turn the reins to somebody else. I think most of us would agree. Maybe you don't, but I think most would agree. Oklahoma, we see this morning, we don't know the details, and the police don't know the details yet. An Oklahoma student got in a fight in high school in the bathroom. One student is deceased. They are trying to determine what happened. As soon as that information breaks out, we'll add that to the story this week of what went on there. This is epic. My very first weapon that I ever owned had Remington stamped on it. I was 12 years old. This was my second. Let me take that back. My first was a Sears and Roebuck. My second was a Remington that I cut grass and saved. I think I bought it used for $150. In Illinois, they are packing up boxes right now because the laws have gotten out of hand, and they're moving to Georgia. It's been there, I think, 208 years is how long Remington firearms have been in Illinois. It's gotten so bad, the state's so liberal, that they've got to move. They're moving to Georgia to take their entire headquarters. And the townspeople are saying this is not just a company, it is the town that is leaving. All because of elected officials. It's bad. It's all across America where you're penalized and penalized. Again, going back to Americans not accepting responsibility for what they do. It's not an object that does something. It's the actions of the person that make a decision to do something. We can never lose sight of the truth. We have problems with that in every area, from hot coffee to a sandwich to firearms. It's bad out there. We make no excuses for those that can't see that. Let's see here. This many years ago happened locally in the Clarkdale community. They would live, but they would be forevermore paralyzed from a situation. Some kids in Clarkdale years ago, I want to say it was the principal of Clarkdale, a cave fell in on the student and his son become paralyzed. We go to Florida, kids on the beach playing, building a sand castle. Little girl was inside, it collapsed. She has died, 5 years old. Oh, that breaks my heart. They did their best to revive her, and they could not. A sandcastle at that, playing on the beach, one would think it would be okay, but that dirt weighs more than you think it does. Always watch your kids. I'm not blaming any parent. They were just being kids. So you want to talk about all over the board, you go, say what, Willis? Say what? That's what a lot of people are saying to Donald Trump this morning as he made the announcement last night. He goes, well, wait a minute. I'm still thinking about this. Ron DeSantis, I've taken that back. I've thought about this a little bit more. DeSantis, however you want to say his name, might be a good running mate. Could it be? Ramaswamy? DeSantis was well liked and probably could grab the other part of the Republican Party and put it together with Trump. Will it happen? We don't know. But he is at least saying, well, he could be my running partner. We'll see what becomes of this story and watch it closely. It could reunite the party. Lord knows it needs to be reunited, doesn't it? It sure does. Joe, we got to give you at least one story on Joe. Is they have now, I don't know if y'all are aware of this, they've added an extra person to the stairwell of Air Force One, and anywhere that he walks up and down, just in case. Well, he didn't fall yesterday, but they've also given him his old tennis shoes to make it up the stairway to Air Force One. He did have a stumble. He didn't fall. He had a little slight. But they have now added extra security there to catch in case there's an issue. Boy, have they? You used to deliver those little. That was at the church. We saw it at the Kentucky Ham Mill. You sit in the chair and is it time for that for Air Force One? Air Force One, the stair lift. The official, y'all. It ain't even funny, but it's the truth. We've reached that. We all know that. We could sit here and go, oh, it's the truth. You know it as well as I do. We'll be right back. We got your forecast coming up next.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
If it's crossed your mind about a new tractor, visit my friends at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 here in Collinsville. They got any style, any size that you're looking for. And right now, you can take advantage of getting a new tractor, a trailer, and a bush hog, all for $31,000, 0% interest for 84 months. Yeah, 0% for 84 months. Also, a great service department to work on any tractor that you have. From bush hogs, disc, and tillers, see it all at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494 in Collinsville.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Chilly as we start today out again, 36 right now as we go for that high of gorgeous weather, 75 later. As we look back on today, 18, it was 83 degrees, a warm day it was. Back in 1978, woof, it was cold. 17 degrees on this day way back in 78. Maybe a few of you remember that. As we look at that forecast today, here's what we got. Anywhere from 72 to 75 across the great state of Bama. Might even see 67 to 69 there in Birmingham. That's the outlook of that. Is what we see coming. Now, I want to remind you of this. On Thursday, we're going to have some strong winds blowing in. This could cause power outages with this. We could see sustained winds of 20 to 25 with gusts up to 30 to 40 miles an hour. Be cautious and be aware of this coming on Thursday. No burning. Let's just go ahead and see that. Now, they haven't made a burn ban, but let's just use some common sense on this. If it's windy, don't light a match. Let it be. It'll get better in a day or so. As we look at the forecast over the next 10 days, it does seem to warm up. We're going to see some 70, even 80-degree weather in the forecast. Here's what we got as we see 75 today. Again, a ditto tomorrow. 0% chance of rain. Highs will be 75. Nighttime lows about 75. As we head toward the weekend, we end it with 69 for Friday and Saturday. That's pretty good there. Low of 41 there. A bit nippier at night there. By Sunday, we hit 75 again. And we see, what is that? 80 degrees there. 81 by Tuesday. It's going to be warm. Now, as we go into this, we're watching this right here. Next Wednesday, possibility of some severe weather could happen. Right now, they're listing it at a 50% chance. That's going to be our best chance of some severe weather happening. We'll watch this. Should the National Weather Service decide that is going to be, we'll be the first to let you know on that. After the rain moves out, we'll drop Thursday to 65 there. We'll get a cloudy sky in next week with 71. And over the weekend, it looks like it could be a tad bit wet as we see 68 to 73 there. But rain every day starting there around the 2nd of March. Okay, it's April showers. I had that in my head, but it's April showers bring May flowers. I don't know what happens when you have those March showers. But we got them coming. We look at our fishing forecast. Our friends at Chet's Paint and Body tells us the best time to be out there today is 10 o'clock till noon. If you can make a way to go fishing, it's going to be perfect as the weather is great. You're going to see people fishing all day today. Late this afternoon, expect the reservoir to be loaded with people. It's going to be nice weather, 75. Everybody wants to get out, and a lot of walking. So expect that today. Enjoy yourself. As we look at the clock, we're coming up on the top of the hour. We'll have the morning show coming. Odie is here. We got special guest. The Glow Run is going to be happening in the Meridian area. We're going to be here to tell you all about it shortly. So join our guests, join us, and we'll give you the latest of all of the headlines of the accident. We've lost a child in Lauderdale County. It's heartbreaking. We'll tell you those headlines coming up at the top of the hour. Join us, won't you? Share the word. Let everybody know where you get your headlines from. Right here with the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.